Alright, this is the first game against for ADR against Ballin Ballers for it's the first week in NASA. Uh,
Second.
Second week in NASA, sorry, and we got Spark Strength starting Aerials on Tycho Temple. Greg, what do you think about these team comps here?
Well, Ballin Ballers is running like a pure core control team comp. They have no damage going on with Dubu and Era rolling in midfield. That is not. Those are two characters who can't really reset regen timer. And Julie, while is okay at finishing off kills, she needs something like a NATO to really set that up. So a lot of the time they won't be able to play forward damage as their win comp. They just need to find some raw core control. And I think the way ADR will be playing is going to make it a little hard for them to find that. However, something of note here is that Lufoxdio is swapped out for Taco in the midfield. Potential playstyle difference, we'll have to see how it plays out for them.
Yeah, and just already off here, first point going to ADR. They had a pretty explosive start getting both barriers before the side of Ballin Ballers was able to get anything. I think they're kind of relying on this Astra and Luna to stuff the core in pretty hard and making it their lives pretty hard on the side of Ballin Ballers, which means, and especially with having like an Era who's like not like the best defensively, like it may be difficult to defend against that offense.
Yeah, and Luna having that open coverage with Dash, as long as she has the cooldown, she can answer pretty much any outclear. So they'll have to be playing very carefully on defense for them. And the issue is that if you can't go for an outclear, you have to play right back into Asher, and that's exactly what she wants. So it's a very strong comp from ADR here.
Yeah, now moving into the second point here. Kind of in a bit of a stalemate here. Bertram on the back foot here trying to get that second barrier. Ballin Ballers not able to do so just yet. And Wallaby not able to set up the offense, but Twee getting in there with the dash and the special, forcing the flip out of Dr. Bebop, but still not getting any of those barriers yet. Now getting that first one barrier down for both sides. Bam and Bertram both have a flip on the other side, so if it gets over there, might be a little bit dangerous for the side of ADR.
Yeah, and Asheralt coming in on this, they're running in the corner, and though Bebop does have the defensive coolness to get down, Bam finds a massive dash punch. They might be able to make this power play count massively. Forcing out Bertram's flip, though it might die here. They have another chance before Twee respawns. They get the second barrier. Bam is forced to use the flip to not die to Wallaby Gangsta, and it seems like the play is going to simmer down from here.
Yeah, Bam almost dead too. Maybe looking to try to get a kill there with the Mako and the Luna, but Bebop loses that second barrier. Now all barriers down for both sides. Looking a little bit dangerous here, especially because Wallaby has that flip. In position here, not able to use the flip just yet, but Taco has one of his own as well, so if it's able to set up the offense, either team could get this in very easily. The flip to the top side of the barrier, to the top side of the net, gets it in. Dr. Bebop not able to stop that.
Yeah, Bertram able to put up Wallaby perfectly with a strike shot there, reacting to where Bam wants to send the ball for a dribble. And because of that, it goes to Wallaby for a perfect flip open shot on the net, and Bebop does not have the coverage to answer that. A strike beam with Taco, they might be able to blitz down two barriers right away, but not instantly, as Wallaby's able to defend right away. And he wastes his ult, it seems. Both goalies down an ult, and a power play coming in for ADR. They might be able to make this count.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm seeing this Julie struggling a lot here because the Mako is putting so much like incremental damage onto them that she's not really able to regenerate, and the Luna's coming back like occasionally to drop in like a rocket or a dash just to do more damage to the Juliet. So she's not really able to survive super easily here. So I'm wondering if the side of Ballin Ballers we're going to be looking to get some sustainability in these future drafts to try and help them in that matchup.
I think what Bam will be looking for later in the drafts is actually knockback power. I think what he wants this game is to be able to find those dash punch kills. Because if they can get that power play consistently going, then they might be able to have such a flow that they can consistently score. But this set, it looks like they've done the back foot for pretty much the entire duration of it. So long as Bam isn't finding some like heroic plays on the net, they are kind of slowly losing is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, it's pretty hard here, but Wallaby almost dying there, had to use the evade. Does get the orb though, so he's unstaggered. And now trying to get that second barrier here against Dr. Bebop, but he does have that flip. Not able to get it just yet. Dr. Bebop doing a great job on the defense with the help of Taco. Bertram still not really threatened here though, not even coming close to losing that second barrier, but Dr. Bebop is just in the exact same boat. So both kind of in a sort of a stalemate here. Both teams just playing pretty well on defense. Twee, right in front of the barrier, gets the flip. Gets that second barrier. Both sides down for the Dr. Bebop, and they're trying to get this third point here on the side of ADR.
Yeah, and it's just, oh, Bam with a big flip in the face of Bertram, who's not willing to spend that flip just to guarantee it. Though I will say it's looking very difficult for Ballin Ballers to close out this point, as long as Bertram is willing to spend that flip, because Mako, with all her cooldowns and flip, is so hard to crack open. And yeah, there's Bebop's flip spent out there, and because of that, he is able to use it to save that angle from Twee off the center drum. What a shot.
Yeah, really well played from Twee there, up 3-0 in this first set. Twee rightfully getting that MVP as well, maybe looking to see a Deadeye. It does see the Deadeye here. Probably will be opting to take that just because they're already putting a lot of it damage on, but could see something like a team player here or a missile prop, who knows.
It's true. Twee does sometimes like to make a statement of not taking Deadeye, and there it is, going for Missile Prop instead. And honestly, it's not that bad, because Missile Prop is now about as much of a power buff as Deadeye is. It's just less conditional and doesn't proc on dash. So honestly, I can see the vision behind it. However, notably, a 1-2 punch of denied away from Juliet. I know Bam was wanting that. And now he's out with a Size Awakening too, so he needs that glass cannon, which is pretty easy to reset as like it kind of been looking this game. They're very much hitting him on defense like this. So he might not get a chance to stack it up. Instantly, recovery drone is wasted for all the gangsters. He mentioned Aeronator, though.
Yeah, and just like from that draft, the thing that I was noticing is that Ballin Ballers did get 2-3 in the draft, so they were able to pick up a size on Dubu to match the Asher size, so I don't think that's too dangerous to them. And they also got that team player on the Era, which is helping them out a little bit in the midfield, I would imagine, because they're trying to keep it away from this Luna, who's just able to respond with her dash and stuff, so maybe that extra core speed will help them get it away from her.
That's right. I think, good NATO setup, perfect corner offense to take those both barriers. I think there is a world where Ballin Ballers here. Good strike warp from Bam, waiting out the Mako primary and knowing that once that fires, there's nothing stopping that open shot on the net. Very well played from them. I think there's a universe here with Bebop having pauldrons and built different. He just gets so much size on Dubu that it becomes way too hard for ADR to find these goals. There could be like a real universe where the game stalls out like that.
Yeah, and I'm moving into this point. Taco actually really low to start getting hit a bunch by that Asher special. Bertram not able to get it away with that strike shot, misses the strike, loses that first and their second barrier. Great dash punch from Bam to secure that. Now on the back foot here, Bam trying to get that goal here, but not able to do so just yet. Bertram with great outclear. Dr. Bebop now losing both barriers from the Asher collapse and the flip to get the kill, and Taco's not able to respond from that shot.
Explosive play, absolutely. They find their one little open pass there, and because of that, they're able to take both barriers, kill Bebop, find the open shot in the net. Taco not willing to spend the flip to save it. Very convincing for ADR, winning a point they were otherwise looking a bit outmatched in. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going up in the rest of the set, though.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting off well, getting that first barrier pretty easily, but Ballin Ballers almost getting, ADR almost getting a kill onto Taco, but he still has that flip here. Not willing to spend it just yet. Oh, Bertram with the cage from across the map, able to put Dr. Bebop in there, but they still haven't dropped that barrier yet, but Twee with an amazing dash, able to get that second barrier. Bam, not able to get the core just yet, but Dubu keeping that core forward with the wall for a little bit. Not getting scored on just yet. Wallby doesn't really have anything, it looks like, either, so Dubu's pretty chill for now, but it's still a little bit dangerous here for the side, especially after they get that kill on Taco finally after lowering him so much. Great roll from Dr. Bebop to stop the dash from Luna, but still on the back foot here, down a person, really difficult here.
Yeah, but they're playing some clean defense here, though. Twee does have a flip coming in, they'll have to be careful about that. Playing it towards him a few more times, but he's not able to get anything convincing just yet. An Asher ult is able to perfectly set up the goal, though. One era is not enough to defend that.
Yeah, this is just really difficult for the side of Ballin Ballers. ADR is doing a great job of capitalizing off of any mistakes that they're making on defense and just instantly getting both barriers, instantly putting the goal in if they make any mistakes. Ballin Ballers has to do a really good job trying not to die or going down to power play just like that, and playing their defense perfectly. So it's just a really difficult game for them.
Yeah, it's looking like their comp is just not able to get anything done. They're playing defense pretty much the entire game. The only really way that they are able to score barriers is from raw breakaways from Bam here. And those aren't something you can pitch an entire game on. You can't win a game off of heroics alone. So they might need to change some tempo. Taco hitting it into the center drum, not quite expecting the ball to be there by the time he struck, and sitting it perfectly into the top side of his own net. That's a very unfortunate way to end the set for them.
Yeah, now Wallaby Gangster getting that MVP here, maybe looking to get a Size Awakening, and there is the big fish here, potentially able to outside, well, not outsize you because of the pauldrons, but at least match it more easily. You could also be looking for the Prime Time, or the Extra Special, or the Bulk Up. There's a lot of different things there. Actually opts for the Spark. I don't know if he has a Spark already, but...
There's a Spark of Strength start.
Oh, right, yeah.
Though I will say, there are a few good options here, and it's pretty interesting that Bebop is opting not to take the big fish, considering it seemed like that was his whole game plan, to stack as much size as possible. It could be that he wants to pivot off of it now, but it might be a bit too late for that given this game state. He might have just wanted to commit to that full-size win con. The extra special is nothing to scoff at either. Era has 2 Dash Awakenings, and Juliet has heavy impact here. If anything could be a turn in momentum for them, they'll need to find these dash punches, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. I think that heavy impact is kind of the key thing from that draft. If Bam is able to find those dash punch skills off the sides, which he should be able to more easily with that awakening, then their life should be getting a lot more easy. It'll get a lot easier because they've been kind of in these reverse power plays a lot. But you know, as I'm saying that, they just lose both their barriers. Great defense from Dr. Bebop, nonetheless, able to outstuff the Asher, but not really able to set up an offense here on the side of Ballin Ballers. It's pretty difficult here. Bam trying to get that first barrier, was able to do so. Taco trying to set up that NATO as well to get the second one. Still not able to get that barrier just yet because all 3 members on the side of ADR are playing on the defense. When that Asher walk back, it just gets really, really difficult to score.
Yeah, that's something you can never really take away from Asher Brawler is her defensive prowess for a brawler. Not all brawlers are able to hold down the net as cleanly.
Oh.
And Bebop dying to seemingly just a stray Luna missile, perhaps, with missile proc. That could be just the end of the point as is, considering only Era and Juliet are left to defend the net. However, he's respawning soon. If they can't score now, then he's right back on the field. And they are able to stall out long enough for this play to stall out. Bam has a few more shots on the net, but he's getting damaged so much that he just can't stay in there alive.
Yeah, this Luna, okay, great dash from Luna, able to get through that Dubu wall. A little bit of an unfortunate Dubu wall mishap per usual, but he does have X special, so it doesn't matter. But regardless, this Luna is deceptively strong. She has Sparker Strength, Bulk Up, and Missile Prop, so she's hitting really hard, and I think that the side of Ballin Ballers is going to have to be really careful playing against her, because she'll get those straight kills really, really easily.
Yeah, clean evade from Taco, wasting Wallaby Gangsta's flip. This could be a turn of momentum as Bam is using a dash here, but Bertram is not needing to use his flip there. He's saving it despite this defense and is able to clear it out with claiming Bam's life for it. So this is the way this is playing out. They're getting so many kills on this team, which is, again, this is one of the most killable team comps I've ever seen in my life, actually. Era Juliet Dubu, I feel like if you're playing in a Spark of Strength start, this is kind of the only way this match would end up playing out on paper. So
yeah,
they really don't seem to have much of a winning strategy here.
Yeah, this is really difficult. I just think the Era can't defend in the ways that they need it to at the moment and they're always down a person, so it's just really difficult. But one barrier down for both sides, so it's still possible for the side of Ballin Ballers to come back here in this third set. Bertram still has that flip though, really not feeling threatened on defense ever, and Bam almost dying here. One shot away from death, is staggered now, but is in the corner, no one able to threaten him. Bertram uses that special, gets him out with the instant drums. But Taco trying to go for the second barrier there, not able to get it just yet. Bertram and Tweed both still have their flips too, so it's looking hard here. Dr. Bebop whiffs his flip as well, but does keep the barrier alive, which is really big here. Uses that wall as well, doing a great job on the defense here, despite being in the reverse power play.
That is the thing I've noticed. Ballin Ballers have been playing some very strong defensive sequences. It's just that as they have to play it longer and longer and more frequently, they'll just not have the cooldowns or the stamina to keep that defense going. They have been having these solid plays in the moment, but they're just so outmatched by these team comps and the state of the game that it's not even close to enough, as they're looking at like they're in a pretty bad spot here. Bertram is not looking like he's going to go down anytime soon with cooldowns and a flip. Forced to use it off of a missed strike shot, however. That is a strike off of the flip that will go directly in the net, though, as he finds the angle around the Dubu wall to end this game 3-0 in sets.
Yeah, great angle from Bertram off the drum there to get that final point. 3-0 for the side of ADR. I mean, just based off what I saw in that game, I'm hoping that Ballin Ballers is looking to maybe offer either a comp that can play better on defense or one that can survive more easily. But I guess it will depend off of the start, because that was Sparker Strength and Aerials, so that favored like a Maka with 2 damaging characters pretty hard, which is what the side of ADR had.
That's right, yeah. Very big draft difference, I think, coming in that game. I think if Ballin Ballers wants to keep this series alive, they'll have to change their game plan pretty significantly. Alright, then we'll cut, I imagine. We're cutting. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, yeah, I mean, definitely, I mean, era-induced loss, but whatever.
Oh, we picked Era. We picked Era on Spark of Strength to start.
Yeah, that was just not, I just don't...
We still think she's good. What's up with that?
Is NM in the pool?
Is what?
Night Market?
Oh, Night Market? No, it's not.
Bro.
It better be on the next rotation, man. Look-y.
I mentioned it to Drop, and he's like, drops like Gret Esports in nasl soon. I'm like, bro. Yeah, I mean, the Luna just was owning them. I don't really know how else to say it. Like, it was just really hard to play against.
Yeah.
I mean, Luna had the most shots. Bertram was level 6, and Bertram was Bertram's 6, she's dead now. So insane. She was just everywhere. I don't really like. Hey, Mesprop wasn't nerfed. W Luna.
Yeah, I think Mesprop is just like actually better on the character now.
Yeah, maybe.
The only thing that Deadeye still gives is knockback on her dash. But like, if you want the like consistency and the extra range, obviously, the damage difference is nothing.
Because I think Bebop actually wanted Missile Prop 2 for a special, but would have took it right before him.
If I were Bebop, I would not be picking Missile Prop up. Holy shit.
I wouldn't take it either, but I know he likes it.
I keep stacking size, perma. Holy fuck.
Do you think he should have taken Big Fish instead of Extra Special?
Yes.
I agree. I think it probably was better. I just don't know, like, because I know all the size wings like just got nerfed or whatever, so I'm not really like. I haven't played the game a lot.
It is really good now, I think, as long as you're actually stacking size. Just because it's like completely different.
Also, is Luna like crazy? Like, is that just like normal Luna performance now, or what? Like, I don't know.
I think she was as good as you just saw last patch.
But because she just got nerfed, yeah.
I think the nerfs didn't hit her hard at all, though.
What were the nerfs?
They were pretty big knockback only nerfs.
I guess that's alright.
Like, I think she is still pretty much just as strong.
Alright, welcome back to ADR versus Ballin Ballers. We're in Game 2 on Clarion Test Chamber with the Glass Cannon Prize Fighter start. A little bit of different comps here. We see the Era and the Dubu on the side of ADR, which were both on Ballin Ballers last time, and Ballin Ballers now opting for a Rune and an Atlas. Maybe to get a little bit more survivability. See how this changed this game.
Yeah, the Asher is notably different from last game, though. Picking it instead of the Julie, making a much more condensed kind of offense rather than the free form that Julie provides. Might prove to be a little stronger versus a melee goalie pick that Bebop is playing, like Atlas here. Bebop is playing Strike Shot on Atlas, which I think he has to take now after the primary lingering nerfs. And again, okay, the damage changes are showing itself now. Wallaby is already staggered, which was something we just were not seeing last game from Ballin Ballers. The Rune and the Atlas are much more damage-like oriented picks. If not immediate, it will still like show itself. So
yeah,
Wallaby is able to still, though, find a primary to hold the ball, still have Bebop's strike cooldown, and then an ult to very cleanly send him into the bottom corner there.
Yeah, Arrow was able to send it into the corner, and he just dropped that. Asher dropped that special, and it just got stuck in the corner, and there was nothing really that Rune and Atlas could do because they weren't already down there. A great strike shot from Dr. Bebop, able to get it away from Wallaby, and that Rune Pillar, keeping up that disruption, able to get that first barrier here, but also losing their first barrier as well against that Asher. Able to defend the second barrier with that secondary, keeping up great defense here with Taco and Dr. Bebop layering their strikes well. Taco with the banish onto Asher. Ooh. Oh, great kill for the Julie dash punch plus the banish Pillar. Able to get that kill, maybe stacking up some prize fighter stacks here. Maybe this is the win con that Ballin Ballers is going for, just trying to get kills to out-damage the side of ADR.
Yeah, Twee going for a bit of a hero play with the flip, but as a result, the stall was completed, and Wallaby's back on the field as if nothing happened. Spending the resources for it, but it might prove to be valuable if they can get this barrier down pretty soon. However, it's looking like they're the ones on defense here. Bebop is forced to use a flip after a strong passing play, beating his expectations out with the strike shot, and a dash coming in, stunning Bebop for the barrier here. They might be able to look for something very convincing here soon. Taco spends the banish, doesn't get to put something insane, but off of a flip in secondary, very cleanly finds the barrier. This could be it. Bam has the flip to work with, and Bertram is not able to save that open shot from Bam. Clean open shot in the net there.
Very impressive play from Taco, able to use that secondary to get right next to the core and flips from across the field, lands at the very top of the barrier. Bertram wasn't able to reach it, even with that flip. And then Bam uses his flip to get that first goal. Now it's 1-1 here in this first set here. Ballin Ballers, I think, are really trying to scale them out here by getting a bunch of damage, relying on that those prize fighter stacks to carry them to this victory and getting more damage to help them out. So they really want to win this first set here. I think it's difficult for them if they let this Asher or this Dubu just start stacking size and just like pushing into the corner and making it difficult for them to win strike wars and such. So I think they really want to win this first set here.
That's right. And something I think I've been seeing is that every time they're on this offense, there has been one good defensive sequence from Ballin Ballers in the Gates formation, the Goo formation rather. But knowing the Atlas and Rune picks here, I think the defense has not been as clean as it could be with these characters. I think I'd much rather see Bebop on like an open goalie, like a Vice or something, because that gives them the pressure they need to win this game, I think. But as they've locked in the Atlas now, I think they just have to work with what they have and find these fast and smooth and loose plays with Rune and Julie, who want to play this open space kind of game.
Yeah, and I do think the one thing that the Atlas does provide, though, is that it should prevent like any stray kills from like an Aranado or like dying to like an Asher dash punch off the edge if the Atlas is being careful. But you know, as I'm saying that, the pillar, a little bit of a mishap. It kind of puts it back into the net with the help of the Asher special, and they're now 3-1 here, getting that first 7th of the ADR era, getting the MVP, but not really too much here that is looking too interesting for him. Maybe just gonna take the extra special to deny from that rune.
Absolutely,
but who knows?
yeah. It has to be extra special here for sure. Rune is just too good with that awakening, and Era is not bad herself considering how low her secondary already is.
Whoa.
Or her ultimate already is. And Rune opting instead for a Reptile Remedy, maybe even a Deny, to stop the enemy team from being able to survive, which they might need this game. Or Replicator coming in from Bam, who doesn't have much else to pick from after the Hotshot Deny. I will say, I think Atlas should probably have been going for Hotshot over Twin Drive, but we'll see how it plays out here.
I think I would have liked to have seen the Twin Drive and Hotshot be taken by Rune plus Atlas instead of maybe that Reptile Remedy, because Wallaby still got that size, so if it was a denial to try and get kills more frequently, it's still just hard to like play into them if Wallaby gets that size plus the recovery drone. So we'll see what happens in the second set though.
Yeah, Banish comes out, sending Wallaby to 1 HP almost immediately. They're unable to get the kill right away, however, as a result of his health bar, they might be able to find a very convincing proc in his recovery drone here. However, if they commit too much of their time and lose the barrier for this kill as a result, they might actually end up regretting it. As Wallaby is looking like he's about to get regened like nothing ever happened, and he's able to preserve this recovery drone. The point is kind of stalling out as a result.
Yeah, but Taco is keeping up a good job on the offense there, able to keep it in front of Bertram for a long time, but it doesn't matter. Twee and Bertram are playing great on this defense here together, laying strikes perfectly against Spam's offense there as well. Dr. Bebop does have the flip here though, so I don't think he's feeling too threatened here. On that Banish against the Asher, able to oh, great flip to do damage to both of them. Rune and Julie able to capitalize that as well, get one kill and proc the recovery drone off of Wallaby. Maybe this is looking a little bit favored here for the side of Ballin Ballers now.
Yeah, and seeing the way Ben is playing, he's very hungry for these kills. He wants them as like his main win con here. He sees someone at low health, he's playing only to kill them. So hopefully, the way the game plays out, maybe in later drafts he can get some more awakenings to really support that. But the way they've been playing this, they've been in this 3v2 for almost the entire point. Finding the barrier right there, they'll have to get through Bertram's flip first before they're able to score this point. No, they will not, as Bertram loses a crucial strike war and lets the ball go in without flipping. They'll have it for the next point, but as a result, they're down 1-0.
Another greedy goalie down. Doesn't use the flip on the line when needed to. Loses the strike core against Julie, greeting a little bit too hard. But back to an even closer here on the bounce house, getting that first barrier against Bertram already. He still has that flip here to work with, so he should be fine on the defense, but maybe he won't use it like last time. Feeling pretty confident in this Julie. ADR getting 2 barriers already and getting a kill with the NATO, and then Twee is able to slot it in off the top. I think that kill is very big against the Atlas here. It's not something that you really want to see.
Yeah, looks like Bertram might never need to use that flip, as he would end up on defense that point outside of the first barrier he lost. So, Ballin Ballers just Era Asher put the ball in the corner, and as a result, they just sent the ball in. However, Ballin Ballers are needing to find the ball out of that exact same scenario they found themselves in last point. The ball is in the corner versus Era and Asher. They're able to get it done this time with Rune and Juliet's cooldowns. But now, if the ball floats back to that exact same scenario, if they keep funneling it into this corner over and over again, the game will prove to be very difficult for Ballin Ballers to win.
Yeah, I would really like to see some more out-hit clears here from the side of Ballin Ballers. Taco and Dr. Bill definitely had a lot of opportunities when it's in the corner. I think that because they're playing an Era Asher comp, the side of ADR is committing really hard to a corner, and they're just trying to stuff it through there. But if they lose that initial attempt, then the side of Ballin Ballers should just be looking to clear it out and get it away from them as soon as possible instead of giving them more attempts here. Although the Atlas with the twin drive is definitely doing a great job on the defense, able to keep up a lot of this corner offense away from their barriers. So. And now, going into the offense against Bertram here, he does actually end up having to use the flip here. Wallaby Gangster does get the kill, though, with the dash punch. Talking about forced to use the flip, gets the core away from the barrier, though. Still has that second barrier alive in here, even in that reverse power play. Taco is about to come up as well, looking pretty bit back to an even flow state here for the side of two teams.
That's right, and Bebop is finding these clean-out clears that you were just talking about now. He's playing for them almost as much as he can. It's a good adaptation for Ballin Ballers. They've been able to keep this point alive for a very, very long time, and BAM has been getting many chances. There's a one right there. A hot shot, not a hot shot, but just the glass cannon's core speed in overtime. Red coring it, making a very clean shot from them there. And as a result, the rune pillar setting him up perfectly. And he's getting many, many chances, much more than last points it felt like.
Great defense from Dr. Bebop there, able to win that strike war, keeping that second barrier alive. But still a little bit on the defense here, even wasting that secondary. So if it gets back in the corner, it's going to be pretty hard for the side of Ballin Ballers. But it doesn't matter, because BAM wins the strike war against Bertram in the midfield with that dash. Now 2-1 here for the side of Ballin Ballers.
Catching Bertram walking up, I feel like the Ballin Ballers have made a very visible adaptation to the way they're playing defense, the way they're playing possession. And because of it, BAM's been getting many, many more chances on the net. And he's also been playing a lot less for the kills. I've noticed he's playing much more for scoring attempts on Bertram, so he's in these perfect spots to find those opportunities. As a result, they're up in this set. They may be able to even the game up.
Yeah, and I think that this variant of Clarion is also favored for the side of Ballin Ballers because they have that rune who can just take the orb pretty much anytime he wants with the banish, so it makes their life pretty hard. He can also cover the side lanes pretty easily with his pillars as well. So it's looking pretty bit hard here for the side of ADR to mount an offense here, just playing on defense pretty much the whole time. Also that banish against the Asher, losing almost all her health, now staggered here, trying to get that kill here, not able to do so just yet. But Ballin Ballers are looking good here. They have almost have all three of their flips here, so it's looking pretty hard for the side of ADR.
Yeah, Rune getting the pillar, maybe able to confirm the kill on Wallaby, not opting for it, anything like a banish, just secondarying away for the regen timer. And because of this, they have all of their flips to work with. A dash coming in, not quite enough. Bertram is able to hold that. Taco might have to spend his flip. Both Taco and Bebop spending their flip here. And Taco, with a secondary, not enough to catch it. A banish coming in, forced to sidestep from Bertram. As a result, they're able to find some maybe offense going on here. Wallaby's not in range for the down pass from Twee there. And the point is about to stall out, but anything could happen the way this is going on. It's a very, very high tempo game that we've just found ourselves in.
I mean, Dr. Bebop, excuse my bias, is fathering the lobby right now. There's so much, he's playing so well in defense, doesn't care about the corner offense, he's just permanently on it. But, you know, as I say that, he does lose that barrier, but BAM does get a kill onto Twee in that power play here. Ballin Ballers are trying to make it capitalize on that here, and a great ankle off of the middle, get it around Bertram's summer assault, and now 3-1 here in this set for the side of Ballin Ballers. Maybe this is the start of something that we need to see.
Yeah, and it's not the same kind of heroic plays we were talking about earlier. These are consistent, replicable things that the Ballin Ballers can do. They look like they've found an answer, honestly. A bulk up coming in for BAM here. Many awakenings he'd like to see, like 1-2 punch a Dread Big Fish. He's opting for the bulk up instead, as it's a very strong pickup on him. Prime time for Era can be a little difficult for them to deal with, and ADR might love getting that awakening. Adren Rush is denied away from Bertram, and he doesn't want to give that to Rune. However, I don't think Taco is too disappointed with the 1-2 punch pickup. I think this draft pretty strongly favors the Ballin Ballers. So if they're able to keep that adaptation up that they found, keep that answer going, then they might be able to get this game into a game 3.
Yeah, I would have to agree. That was a pretty strong draft for the side of Ballin Ballers, especially getting that bulk up on the Juliet. But something I would be a little bit concerned about for Ballin Ballers is trying to not let this go to a 5th set, because we did see that Asher pick up the spark of focus, and we do not want to let her. They do not want to let her scale it out. It'll make their life significantly harder in the corner. But now losing both their barriers here in the bounce house, very volatile map. Twee able to get a bounce off the top, able to get that first point of the set pretty quickly here in the 22nd point.
Yeah, ADR are very good at punishing mistakes. 1 or 2 mistakes we see from Ballin Ballers, they're able to turn that possession into a goal with that Era Asher composition. And a barrier's taken. The Rune Pillar here might be enough, but Bertram is able to cleanly get around it there. perfect under, good aim from him, and as a result, he's not losing his second barrier. He's able to play some clean defense going on. Taco's the one getting the orb here. Bench comes in. This might be a kill on Twee here. Not quite, but it does force his flip out, and he's at 1 HP. No evade. He could be a target for the rest of the game here.
Yeah, and Taco doing a great job keeping up this offense, though, keeping pillar up. Not able to really, ADR's not really able to get a pass out of the midfield line, but they do hear Twee trying to get that cross clear cut with the air beam, but it's a little bit off center, not able to get that barrier. Both now up to both sides here, both have one barrier. Bam, getting a kill on the other side of the map against Twee. Now in that power play here, trying to get the second barrier here, not able to do so just yet because Wallaby is on that defense with Bertram, keeping it alive, and that Dubu wall coming out, still stalling out for Twee coming back alive now. But Dr. Bebop does have a flip, but Bertram does as well, so it's looking pretty hard here for either team to score.
It feels like Taco's the one getting the orb every single time on this map. If they keep this up, they'll be so favored on this formation. I feel like the only thing ADR needs to win this point is to get that on Twee or Wallaby. However, because Ballin Ballers is so consistently able to get that, they're finding Bebop out of position there as he commits to a low clear. And Tomato almost kills, but he's not quite there. A Rune Pillar in overtime, 1-2 punch 4-speed, able to find the second barrier there. Suddenly the points evened up. This might be enough for Ballin Ballers to take it. A secondary, perfect. Bam is able to dribble it, stall the play out, and a dash punch evaded by General Twee, sidestep coming in from him, and now there's no cooldowns coming in for Ballin Ballers for this point. However, Taco is able to get this orb, so he might be able to play this for a little while longer.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job keeping up that defense as well. Dr. Bebop and Taco using their creations to just keep it out of the hand of Wallaby Gangsta. Really not much that he can do here. And now, bam, trying to get to the play. Oh, but he goes for the dash punch, but Twee responds with the flip and actually catches him out and kills him. Now in this reverse power play here, this is looking pretty dangerous for the side of Ballin Ballers. They've been in power plays a lot, but they haven't really been in a lot of reverse power play situations, but now that they are in one, it doesn't matter because Bam is already back, not able to do much. Taco doing a great job stalling and gets that middle orb here. Maybe looking to get a play here, but it doesn't matter because Wallaby Angster finally gets the core and he's able to slot it into the top once Atlas has no abilities.
Yeah, eventually just finding Bebop without those cooldowns to defend. From then they're able to slot it in perfectly. It was a very long point as that formation tends to be, but I mean, I feel like 4 orbs went to Taco at that point. They were eventually just not able to connect off that, and as a result, ADR was able to punish and find that eventual offense, long offense, going in for a 2-0 lead on this set.
Yeah, now one barrier down though for the side of ADR. Bam able to get that pretty easily. Dr. Bebop also has a flip on the defense, so he's not really feeling too threatened here. Trying to set up that offense here, but General Tree is able to get it out. Past the Wallaby Gangster, but Taka with the banish, able to get a kill off this on Wallaby Gangster, pops that recovery trend, so he does keep that flip, which is unfortunate for the side of Ballin Ballers, but it doesn't matter. Forces that flip out here. Now going for that kill again, not able to get it just yet, but Wallaby Gangster is not looking too good here. No evade, just lost half his health. Side of Ballin Ballers is really looking for these kills here, and they are not afraid to commit everything to get them.
Yeah, Bam has been very notably creative every time he's running offense, and I think Bertram is kind of trying to figure that out. He's starting to wait and react to whatever Bam might do and respond adjustingly, accordingly. And because of that, he's been able to find some very clean defensive plays here. And Taco almost goes down to an Aranado. As they're playing in an open net here, they could find this very difficult to deal with. Bam's forced to use his flip here to keep possession, and as a result, Taco banishes, Bertram's able to sidestep, and they do not get the barrier now. And now they have a lot less cooldowns to work with after that play failed. They'll find it a lot harder to score. As Wallaby Gangsta gets the core in the corner here, and Bebop not able to save it as the secondary is procced directly on top of him. A 3-0 set for ADR going into the set 4.
Yeah, a bit of unfortunate for Dr. Bebop. That secondary just not quite big enough to defend against it. And he did have that flip, but I don't blame him for not using it, honestly. Just expecting the secondary to be able to hold it. But regardless, now into this draft here, Twee is the MVP, maybe looking to take that fight or flight here, or that team player, or the stacks on stacks. He does offer the stacks on stacks, and Taco getting the timeless creator, probably looking to hold these pillars in the side lanes and keep up that offense a lot more easily. Dubu does get that team player, which does help their offense a lot. It makes it really easy to outclear and just set up offense considerably more easy. And then Astro does get a second spark through Spark of Leadership. Atlas goes for the heavy impact. Not sure if that was for a deny or against the Asher or what, but we'll see how this draft turns out, because it's looking a little bit favored for the side of ADR.
Yeah, Wallaby notably opting for Spark of Leadership over that Agil. He might want to spread some CDR with focus to his team, but we'll see how it plays out later in this game, maybe even if it goes to a set 5, as they do find a double barrier, the Ballin Ballers, so they're on pace to take it there as long as nothing goes wrong at this point. Very soon, as it very potentially could. Very, very potent and strong offense from ADR with many creations, Dubu Wall, Aranado, Asher ult, everything is coming in at them here, and they're not able to hold it all. If 1-0 lead for ADR, they're looking very set to take the series.
Yeah, great job on that offense there from General Tweet and Wallaby Gangsta, able to set up in the corner with that NATO and just put it in, no problem. But now moving into this Arrow Orb variant, it may be easy for Taco to get these orbs like we can see before, but no, Wallaby Gangsta is able to get the first one. Maybe using that side share to get a barrier, but not able to do so just yet. Taco uses that flip to get it out, Tweet responds in kind with his own, but still not able to do anything. Taco gets the banish against General Tweet. Tweet is now dead with a combination from Taco and Bam. But Wallaby Gangsta doesn't care. He gets that corner offense going. He uses the flip right after getting that second barrier and just slots it at the top after waiting out Taco's strike. Pretty unfortunate they're not able to get the kill off, not able to save the goal after the power play, but Wallaby Gangsta played that very well.
A bit of a missed clear angle from Dr. Bebop getting completely and thoroughly punished by Wallaby, who's able to score the goal off of it. They're sending it to a set point, a game point, series point even. But Bam looks completely undissuaded by that, finding a clean double barrier. He has that fight or flight to work with. He's very fast for a brawler, and it might be a little hard to deal with for Bertram, who's able to save these singular plays from Bam, but now that he has that movement speed to work with, strike warring him on the roll, he might look to be a lot stronger in the rest of the set. Glass Cannon, Fight or Flight, Bulk Up. He has speed, he has power, he has pretty much everything he needs to get this set done.
Yeah, I mean, I have to shout out Taka there. He was the one who kind of just stopped the offense pretty much immediately on the side of ADR by putting a pillar in front of General Twee and giving it straight back into Bam's hands after getting to both the barriers and letting them capitalize and get that goal. But moving on to this point, Bam already getting one barrier, flipping in front of the barrier, almost getting second one, does wait out the strike from General Twee and forces that flip out of Bertram here. Looking pretty bit dangerous for the side of Ballin Ballers and ADR, but ADR does get that second barrier. Bam not able to return the favor, and Tweed now flipping, passing into Wallaby Gangster, but straight into the filler, not able to do anything just yet. But Wallaby Gangster gets the kill off of the barrier beam, and that is the end of the series, unfortunately.
Barely with that extra size and the prize fighter, Wallaby's able to find the kill to close out the entire series on Dr. Bebop there. He's playing just a little bit too close to the net. I honestly think the extra power was what made the difference there with prize fighter. Very fast series from ADR, only dropping one set the whole way through, but honestly, the Ballin Ballers did not look like lost fish in that second game. They were able to find some opportunities, and it felt like if a few more chances went their way, they were able to turn the tides. However, ADR are not chokers, as we can see. They've gotten it done, and they did not let themselves crumble beneath the weight of a potential comeback reverse sweep. So, very cleanly played from ADR.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think Ballin Ballers did a great job in that second game, able to like step up to them a little bit, but ADR is a very strong and dominant team. They will capitalize off of any mistake that the enemy team makes, as you stated before, and I think that they're just, the Ballin Ballers just wasn't able to do it and do so in the same regard, so it was just a little bit more difficult for them.